Great morning, you guys. Great morning. Great morning. You caught me. I was reading something. Great morning. We are officially on day one of our financial fast. Officially day one. Let's make sure we are live. Hold on just a moment. Let's make sure we're live. All right. Since this is the very first day, I want to ensure that we are live. Hold on. I'm checking. Oh, we are live. I love it. Okay. So welcome to our live viewers. Welcome, you guys. If you are watching the replay, do me a favor and drop hashtag replay down in the comments. I appreciate you. As you hop on live, what I would love for you to do is I want you to tag your accountability partners. Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't assign accountability partners for this. What we do, you guys, is there are people that you have actually taken the time, which I appreciate, and you shared this fast with. I want you to help hold one another accountable during this time. So make sure you go ahead and you tag them in this video. What's happening? I see you guys as you come on live. Great morning to all of you. Greatest of mornings. Latrinda is in the house. I see you, love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see you. I see you. So look. I see the post you put in the group. Grand Rising, Great Stewards. I love that. Your energy is so beautiful. I do. I love it. What's up, you guys? Great morning. Great morning. Listen, while we are getting ready and pushing to go live, this is what I want, or not to go live. We're pushing, and we're not even pushing. While we're waiting on our family to join us. Great morning. Do we have to allow permission to StreamYard each day? No, just one time. Just one time, and it works for good because I can see your name. Okay, so for example, when I show your comment, you see, I can see your name up there. All right. Once you allow it access, that's all you need. While we are getting into today, guys, we are officially in day one of the fast. What I want to do is I want to show you, I reference a lot of books often. And so what I want to do, great morning to you guys hopping on. I love it. What I want to do is I want to share with you some of the books right before we jump into our main book. I want to share with you some of the books that I know I'll probably reference over the course of this 21 days. Some books I will not reference, but they're books that I have read literally over the last, I don't even know how many years. It's funny how I can look back and see how God was literally preparing me for this some years ago. The infamous Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I was just looking at this as the broadcast started, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to read this book again. This is a pretty easy read. And it's been, I don't know how many years since I read this book. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's one I recommend. Everybody knows the classic, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. Classic book. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. I have referenced this book multiple times. It is called Secrets. Let's see if you can see. There we go. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and it's by T. Harv Eker. You guys, I have this interesting habit. If you're wondering why does the book look blank, when I have hardcover books, I take the paper cover off. I like the regular book. It's an interesting thing that I do. T. Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. T. Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Great book. I'm definitely going to end up talking about this one when we get to your financial thermostat. Another book, The Wealth Choice. Success Secrets of Black Millionaires by Dennis Kimbro. Okay. Success Secrets of Black Millionaires by Dennis Kimbro. If you are one of my Brown family members, Black, Brown, this is a good one. Okay. This is a good one. And it's even good if you're not, but obviously it's really going to touch a place. I have had this book, you guys, since I was 20. At the time of this recording, I am 43. I've had this book for a very long time, and I'm so surprised that I still have it. And it's on my list of books to reread this year. And it is called The Millionaire Mind by Thomas Stanley. The Millionaire Mind by Thomas Stanley. I have had this book for quite some time as well. Once again, hardcover. I removed the binding. It is called The Millionaire Next Door. Once again, it's also by Thomas Stanley. Okay. This is what it looks like, so you guys can get the title The Millionaire Next Door. Okay. And I showed you this one yesterday. Business Secrets from the Bible by Rabbi Daniel Lapin. He still produces a lot of good content today. Like you can find videos, you can find podcasts. He produces a lot of good content. You don't need to be Jewish to appreciate this content. Okay. And then my most recent one that you'll hear me probably mention because I cannot help it is this book right here called Fake. Okay. Robert Kiyosaki's newest book. It's called Fake. He wrote it in 2019, I believe. Fake Money, Fake Teachers, Fake Assets by Robert Kiyosaki. Called Fake. Those are some of the books that I have read, and one I'm finishing up right now. I've been finishing this book all year. Should be done with it, but I'm not. Okay, so I thought it'd be great to start with that. Now let's dig into today. You guys, we are officially on day one of our financial fast. If you snuck in while we were talking about the book, what I would love for you to do is in the comments, I'd love for you to just tag a friend or two, okay? I'd love for you to tag them and say, hey, listen, that'll let them know that we're live. It'll be easy for them to find today's video. Let me do the same thing. Hold on, turn that down. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tag a friend or two, okay? Because that's what we do. We're here to help our people, help our friends flourish. What's up, Francis? I see you, sis. Sharitha, great morning, beautiful. Great morning. All right, hold on. So I want you guys to do the same thing that I'm doing. Just take a moment, tag a friend or two. Someone who, I don't even know who that is that I just tagged, you guys. That was a total accident. They're not even in the group. What kind of craziness is that? Okay. My fingers were moving too fast. I don't even know who that person is. They're probably not even in the group. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Let's get it. That's what I'm talking about. Let's help our friends win. Let's help them win. Let's help them win. And let's dig into today. This thing, let's get started with this beautiful fast that has been such a blessing to so many of us. Now we're about to dig in. Thank you, God. We appreciate you so much this morning for allowing us to see another day on this side of heaven. Father God, we thank you for the breath and the life that is in our bodies. God, today I am incredibly grateful because I know that we have no idea what time, what day, what hour we will leave this earth. So right now we take a moment to just say thank you because you allowed us to see it again with one another. God, right now we're about to begin this journey of reviewing this book, these 21 days that we get to do together, God willing. And what I want and what I ask and what I pray this morning is that you will open our hearts and open our minds to receive whatever it is you have for us to receive, even on an individual basis, in addition to collectively. God, you are no short of your word. You are not a man that you could lie, nor the son of God that you must repent. We thank you this morning for being who you are. We thank you for illuminating everything in here that we need to learn. And we thank you for your revelatory knowledge. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all, let's go. Let's look at chapter 21 Days to Financial Freedom. Every time I read this book, you guys, something interesting happens. I learn more every single time. And so when we start officially on page 23, it is 4 parts to this book, or there are 4 parts to this book. And part 1 is why the financial fast. And she talks about how over the next 4 days, we're going to figure out what is this fast all about? What are we doing? It kind of lays the foundation for what are we doing and why are we doing it? Okay. And so what I love is she says, we're going to consider the responsibilities that come with being rich. God's promise of prosperity and the importance of things like generosity and tithing. And this is the amazing thing. When you hear the word responsibilities, how does that make you feel? When I hear the responsibilities that come along with being wealthy and being rich, it makes me feel like this is going to be a burden. It's going to be a burden. And so what I want to caution you with is we have these things where words mean things to us. When we hear certain words, they're triggers for us. And those triggers can be either positive or those triggers can be negative. And so as we're going through this content, as we're going through this book, I want you to think about, are you feeling positive emotions, or are you feeling negative emotions? See, the content, the book is just the book. The book is not positive or negative. The book is just the book. When you look at certain words, they trigger a positive response from you, or positive feelings, or they trigger negative feelings, or a negative response. And when I hear the word responsibilities, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that sounds like weight to me. That's heavy. It's weight. And so because we are on this path to building wealth, the reality is I'm there in my mind already. I'm there in my spirit already. Natural and reality is catching up with all of that. Okay. And so I want you to think about, when you hear responsibility that come along with being rich, I want you to think about, do you feel positive about that, or do you feel negative? Because I remember what my mentor said one day, and this was so good. We all take, if we could right now, I want you to think about it. For a lot of us, if we could right now imitate what we think being rich and wealthy looks like, I want you to think about this. Now I'm asking you this question now. And so now you're coming from a different perspective because you're thinking about it. But I want you to think about before. Think about before we're having this conversation. What did you feel like, or what did you believe being wealthy or being rich looked like? What do you feel like it looks like? You think it looks like driving the most expensive car? Do you think it looks like being super nice to the people and giving to people around you? Do you feel like it looks like, making people feel, how do people feel in your presence? And we know that for some people, we know that some people feel like being rich is equivalent to being, what's the word? Haughty, snotty, stuck up, if you will, right? But for some people, we realize that that's not what being rich and wealthy actually looks like. For some of us, we really care how people feel when they're in our presence, right? And so we're mindful of how our wealth makes other people feel. We're mindful of how we give, that we're giving in a way that's not condescending, but we're giving in a way that's purposeful and pleasing in God's sight. So I want you to think about, when you hear that word responsibilities that come along with being rich, it just hit me that sometimes that could feel a little weighty. You know what I mean? That could feel like, you could already, that's literally let me see, that's the second sentence in the whole book, in this whole part. And now all of a sudden, without you even knowing it, you may be like, oh my God, here we go. And it sets the tone for your chapter. It sets the tone for the fast, because this is the very beginning of the fast itself. But what if those responsibilities, part of it is you being cognizant of the way you make others feel in your presence? And literally, she talks about the promises that God has for your prosperity, but the importance of things like generosity and tithing. So do you do those things with the right mindset, or do you do it with a heaviness? Do you do it with a negative mindset? Do you do it willingly, or do you do it begrudgingly? That's what I want you to think about when we say the responsibilities, being rich. Be cognizant of what words trigger you in a negative way, because we're about to have a good time for the next 21 days. And so if it happens that a word triggers you and you feel some kind of way about it, I want you to start asking yourself, why do you feel that way? Like, why does it make you feel like that? Because see, part of my prayer every single day is that we are open to whatever it is that God wants to reveal to us from this book. Now, when you do this book the first time, it's surface level. Now, some of y'all, this is your second, third, fourth time. Now we got to start digging deeper. Okay, deeper. If this is not the first time you've done this, if this is your second or more, you got to dig deeper, right? Because it's easy to be like, oh, I read this, I understand it, I'm prepared for day this, I'm prepared, because I already know day 7, that's my day, y'all. That's the budget. That's my day, right? So I already know that part. But see, now I want you to dig deeper. We're coming from a different place now. So what are those words as you're reading that triggers you? And I want you to ask yourself, why do I feel this way about this particular piece of content? Like, why does it make me feel that way? Because we're going to dig deeper this time around, okay? She says the chapters that follow, they're going to build upon the whole theme of fasting and depriving yourself. But we don't want you to think about what you're depriving yourself of. The thing is, she says, I want you to start thinking about your money and how often leaning on your own understanding can ultimately lead to making better decisions about your money that aren't wise. So we're thinking about depriving ourselves for the purpose of enriching our lives. We're depriving ourselves of spending so we can enrich our lives and gain wisdom. gain wisdom. What this book will do, and I can say with absolute certainty, if you really plug into this for the next 21 days, is it will change your perspective of how you view the way money works, how you use it, how you spend it, stopping to think before you spend it, right? And so this is what I want you to know. And I've seen this over and over and over again. I told my husband, oh man, it's been a couple of weeks ago now, maybe a month, sometime between the last 2 and like 4 weeks, something like that, up to a month ago. I was sitting down and I thought to myself, man, when you make decisions for so long, you guys, I can only speak about myself, for so long, I've been in survival mode. For so long, I've been in survival mode. That now that we are making that transition into thriving, I have to make decisions differently. And I cannot make decisions from a place of survival. We make decisions from a place of thriving. And so the reason that when we think about the responsibilities that come along with wealth is because, see, a lot of us make decisions from a place of survival, and wealthy people make decisions from a place of thriving. And so our decision-making patterns are completely different. You know what I'm saying? Completely different. And if you are not careful, even though you are transitioning into this new life, even though you are becoming a person that is more wise with your finances, because I promise you, you're going to gain wisdom as we read this book, even though that's happening, if you are not careful, because your mind has been in survival mode for so long. I'm talking to myself. I don't know how y'all feel, but because you've been in survival mode for so long, you will still make decisions from that place if you don't stop and think first. Stop and think first. Yes, Sharitha, that's how we were brought up. Now, this is interesting. I believe, I would have to really think that I was brought up in a pretty comfortable middle-class house. I'm not sure at this point. I'd have to really look. I'm not sure. For my parents, it was great. They own their home, you know. They're both retired. But this is the interesting thing, y'all. They don't make decisions the way my wealthy friends make decisions. The way my mentors and my wealth community makes decisions, that's not how my parents make decisions. Completely different. As you transition, I'm telling you, you're going to have to make decisions from a place of wisdom. And so when she says leaning on your own understanding, what you're going to learn over the next 21 days is the foundation of everything that you learned about money. I promise you, if it has not been based on scripture, everything we know has been based on the world. Everything we know. We don't understand why we do things the way we do, but we have been programmed over however many years old you are, over 20 something years. Y'all, that's a lot of time. Don't actually be in your 30s. Don't be in your 40s or in your 50s. Do you realize how long you have been programmed to spend the way you spend? Do you know there are little subtle nuances that occur to you throughout the course of the day and you don't even realize it's happening while you listening to the music and the radio on your way home from work? While you think, oh, Demetra, I don't even listen to public radio. I listen to like Spotify. Sis, it's ads in front of you. And don't tell me, oh, I got Spotify Premium, Demetra. I don't even hear those ads. Okay, on your drive, do you see a billboard? You don't even realize it's happening. When you turn on the television, you don't even realize it's happening. You are being bombarded with messages of how to use your money. Okay, so you have Spotify Premium. I got it. You stream television. You stream it without ads. You got Hulu without ads. I get it. It's okay, so you don't see ads there. Oh, and you have YouTube Premium. I totally understand. So you're not seeing ads nowhere. I get it. Oh, are you having conversations with your friends? Talk to your family members? Oh, yeah. You didn't know that was programming too? Are you educated? Were you in the same public system that I was in? Oh, you went to private school? Oh, so you were still educated in a school here in the United States. That's what you're saying? Oh, okay. You program, sis. You're programmed. And absolutely, you don't even realize it. We don't know what we don't know. So everything that we have been taught about money, everything, for the majority of us, when I say majority, I mean vast majority, we learned it from the world. The way you learn about finances biblically is you have to make an effort to do that. An effort. Because honestly, your pastor can't cover everything in church. Some of it falls on you. Okay. And so this, I love this. It says, listen, she says that God's word provides the structural support to achieve prosperity. Without that support, you might still achieve wealth. This is really important because I can hear somebody right now saying, I could still be wealthy without, scripture. You absolutely can. But check this out. Without that support, you might still achieve wealth, but you don't have the foundation you'll need in order to prosper with the purpose. This is what I have found. You guys, for those of you who are already a part of our wealth community, for those of you who are not part of the wealth community, what I have found is that one of the reasons that I can go relentlessly doing what it is I do, having conversations all day, doing presentations all day, helping people, understand the process of how to gain this knowledge. The reason I can go hard is because I realize that this is not about me. See, I got a purpose here, and God has identified that purpose to me. And it was in a roundabout way that I didn't expect it to come. But guess what happens? Now that he's identified that purpose, now I can go harder because it's not just about me. God is showing me how to help other people eat. And because I take that seriously, and because I understand families don't have financial peace, y'all, for years, I couldn't even get a good night's sleep. Nobody has to go through that. Nobody has to go through that. Nobody. So when it's done with a purpose, it's a different type of wealth. The other day, my mentor, this was just yesterday, she was talking about, she painted this vivid picture of who wants a big house, who wants the mansion if it's just you living in it. Let me tell you what part of my purpose is. I talk a lot about my vision, and I talk about Team McGee Estate all the time. And for those of you who are part of our wealth community, you've heard this before, but listen, so I talk about this and I don't go into depth as to what I see. You guys, let me tell you, this estate, it's on acres. This house is massive. Yes, it's massive. Do you hear me? The house itself, the bedrooms are not typical bedrooms. You know how you go to like the finest hotels. I want you to think, if you've ever been to the Venetian, for example, in Vegas, when you go into the suite, it's this beautiful, spacious bedroom, and the bathroom, it's incredible, right? So you go into a suite that has a living room area, a bedroom area, and of course the bathroom. They're beautiful. The rooms are amazing. This is what I'm picturing in my house. I'm picturing my house has suites like that in it. Bedrooms with bathrooms with adjoined living areas where the doors can actually shut to the bedroom. And then you have the living area in that suite. There are multiple suites in my house. Why do I need that for my family? I don't, but I need that to do whatever it is that God is going to call me to do. Whatever that is. If there's a family I need to host, we got a suite. If there's an event, we got a suite. So I look at this massive property that we are building, and I know it's not meant just for my family. The yard, the acres, you guys, all the events will be in Team McGee Estates place. And so when I talk about this vision, we are prospering. Oh, you got it, Francis. You got it. You there. All of this vision, all of this prosperity is for a particular purpose. It's not so we could be wealthy and I could take pictures and let everybody see it on Instagram and floss on IG. That's not what it's about. No. What it's about is people, God being able to use our estate, being able to use what he has given us for the purpose of this prosperity, for what he's given us to be able to use for other people. That's the point. Prospering with a purpose. You guys, prospering with a purpose. So she tells us that the main point of day one is that we need to be set free from the bondage that spending holds on our lives. And a lot of us didn't even realize spending held this really big bondage on our lives. A lot of us didn't even know. We had no idea. Now, she starts this chapter, I love this, with this young lady. Her name is Terry. Terry and her husband, Larry. The great story. So Terry says she hated this fast. She absolutely hated it. And I understand why. Hated it. Okay. She says, I hated the fast. And I found myself wondering, why in the world did I even do this? Why did I do it? And the reason that Michelle starts this chapter this way is because she wants us to understand that this is not necessarily going to be easy. Let me tell you, the first time I did this, I did really good up until about day 11. Day 11, I can't remember. I was exhausted or something, and I didn't feel like cooking. Now I pushed through. But day 11 was a very difficult day. She says, I want you to understand that this 21-day fast, this is not a quick fix. That's not what this is. This isn't some microwavable promise of prosperity. you will have to work for your financial freedom. You will. The work is all done in here and in here. Because see, what you don't realize, let me tell you what it feels like. Some of y'all will be able to feel, what's your favorite food? Is it sugar that you're addicted to? Is it salt that you're addicted to? Like, what are you addicted to? Are you addicted to crunchy things like chips? Are you addicted to soft, chewy things like taffy? Are you addicted to pop? Like, do you struggle? You can't get through the day if you can't have a pop? Is it Pepsi? Is it Coke? Is it root beer? Is it Dr. Pepper? Are you struggling if you don't have that cup of coffee in the morning? Like, are you a bear until you have a cup of coffee? Like, the day can't start until you drink a full cup of coffee? Like, what's your nemesis? What's your thing? Now, what I want you to think about is, I'll tell you, for me, letting go of coffee was a really big deal. I didn't realize that I was addicted to coffee, and I have not drank regular coffee for over 10 years. Okay, we got some honest people in the house. Coffee's my thing. All right, we got some honest people in the house. Now, let me tell you, I had to stop drinking caffeinated coffee because it was causing me migraines, and I didn't even know that's what was causing them for a while. Once I figured it out, I had to stop. And guess what? I stopped cold turkey, and it was the hardest thing I had ever done. That headache that I had those 2 or 3 days, let me tell you, that headache, it was massive. But I decided I'm going to go through this. And I remember telling y'all, so funny, coffee is y'all thing. I remember I was working as an operations manager in retail at the time. And I remember telling my HR manager, one of my peers at the store, I was like, listen, I don't think this is worth it. It was a Dunkin' Donuts literally in our parking lot, across the parking lot. And I was like, I don't even think this is worth it. I'm about to go have a cup of coffee. She said to me that it's been 2 days. Don't do that. Just out. Why do I say that? I'm so serious, you guys. I didn't realize I was addicted to coffee. And the pain of the withdrawal symptoms was almost too much to bear, that I went back to the pain that it was causing me on a daily basis. Real talk, real talk. Let's go. Tell the truth, y'all. Tell the truth. Chocolate. Let's tell the truth. So why do I say that? Because see, the discomfort that you're going to feel of not shopping, the discomfort that you're going to feel of not being able to just buy that one little thing, the discomfort that you're going to feel of having a full day of work that you just completed, and all you want to do is go home and sit down and eat. But the easiest thing to do would be able to pick up some fast food and then start your day. That comfort, yeah, imagine what the discomfort of that is going to feel like. What is it, honey? Good morning. I'll be done in a little bit. You can, if you like, you can go use the television in the back until Daddy comes home. Okay? You absolutely can. Make sure you wash it first. Okay, good morning, you guys. I'm sorry, guys. My daughter woke up. So that discomfort, for a lot of us, that's the hard part. That's the hard part. See, what a lot of us do not realize, you guys, let me tell you, we operate, Bob Proctor, thank you so much, Bob Proctor. We have this mental programming, okay, that drives almost all of our habitual behavior, almost all of it. Do you hear me? And the problem is almost all of our behavior is habitual. I'm going to say it one more time. We have a mental program. All of us, we have been mentally programmed from childhood. So we've been mentally programmed, and that mental program drives almost all of our habitual behavior. This is a challenge. Almost all of our behavior is habitual. If we do not know what the programming currently is, how do we shift it to change? So in a lot of cases, we want to change the surface level stuff. But the surface level, if this is the surface level, this is where you feel like you are making decisions. So if I could just change the surface level stuff, I'm good. But the reality, that's not true. The reality is you got this underlying thing here called your mental programming. Bob Proctor calls it a paradigm. Okay. That paradigm, this right here is the mental programming. This happens at a subconscious level. Okay. Subconscious level. And so this mental programming down here, this is what's driving your habitual behavior. People think it's up here, but it's really down here. How do you get from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind so you can actually make the changes? This is why it's hard, because the changes have to be made down here. See, when you make the changes down here, guess what happens? You start to have different behavior up here. But we got to make the changes on a subconscious level. This book is going to help us do that because it's going to unpack the layers and make you do some thinking and make you create some better visions. Okay? So no, it's not going to be easy. There are going to be some days where you don't feel like cooking. There are going to be some days where you see something and you just want it. For some of you guys, shopping is therapy. Right? You got to find a new therapy. You got to deal with the things that are frustrating you, and you cannot go window shopping. We're going to talk about that in a minute. At times you may want to quit, but no matter how many times you falter, make a commitment to get right back up. You guys, that's LaTrenda. The last time LaTrenda said she didn't go all out the last time, but she did curb her spending. LaTrenda won. LaTrenda did amazing the last time. And guess what? She's already all in this time. There'll be times when you may want to quit. Just get right back on track if you falter, y'all. Just get right back on track if you falter. So this is an example. Terry's testimony is so good. Here it is. She says, trying to figure out, this is so good. She said, I'm trying to figure out what I could and could not spend money on. It was a nuisance. And some of you guys are going to feel this, especially in the beginning. Every day I had conversations with myself that went something like this. Meat. I'm hungry. What can I eat for dinner? Other meat. Chinese food sounds really good. Call that place that does takeout. Me. Oh, shucks, I can't. I'm on this crazy financial fast. So what's in the house? Other me. But I'm too tired to cook. Me. Well, you promised you would stick to the fast. All along in my head, I'm hearing Michelle's voice asking, is this a want or a need? Other me. It's a need to eat, you think? Me. Yeah, but you don't need to buy food if you already have food at the house. Other me. All right. Me. Why did I agree to do this? That's how we're going to feel. That's how we're going to feel. So then she'd end up searching the refrigerator, finding something to eat, searching her cabinets, and making some food at home. Literally, right? What happened was she was able to save $140 in 1 month on lunch alone. And a lot of you guys, that's going to be your testimony. But what was really important was that this fast made her think about how she spent her money. I want you guys to think for a second right now. And you don't realize this. You're going to start to realize it as we go throughout the days. But we unconsciously do things. Like, I didn't realize until we did this fast, one of the things that I would do, because I work from home, and I've worked from home for so many years, you guys. So because I worked from home, one of the things that I would do in the middle of the day to get a break, I would leave the house and I would purposely go to the Starbucks that's like 10 minutes away. They recently built a Starbucks from my house. It is like 2 minutes from my house, y'all. So wrong. So wrong. But there is one that's like 5 minutes away. But I would purposely go to the one that's like 10 minutes away. I would not pre-order my drink. I would not, because I wanted to order it in line. It took a little longer if I ordered it in line. So I get in line, I order my drink. I know I got to sit there and I got to wait in the drive-thru. I'm cool with that. That's an additional 5 or 6 minutes because it's always a relatively crowded Starbucks. I'm cool with that. And then so it's 10 minutes there, 5 or 6 minutes in the takeout line or in the drive-thru line, and then another 10 minutes back. I just got a whole half hour to myself. A whole half hour in a house where 2 kids are remote learning and my toddler could give a damn what anybody is doing. Like, he does not care what anybody has going on. Appointments, he doesn't care. Screaming, he wants what he wants. So that 30 minutes, that little 26 minutes, y'all, that was my thing every single day. Then we start this financial fast. And I get up in the middle of the day, and my whole goal was to go to, what is it, honey? Something wrong? You're so funny. Okay, so I get up and I'm ready during the financial fast to leave the house to take my usual break. And I get up, walk out the house, and I was like, where am I going to go? I can't get anything from Starbucks. I literally had a whole moment. Like, I don't have nowhere to go. Oh my goodness. I came right back in the house, put my keys up, and just sat here. Right back. That's what you're going to find out. I was doing that subconsciously and not even thinking about it. I never once paid attention to how much money I was spending at Starbucks. I never even thought about it. Never. That was you get a break in the middle of the day moment. That's what it was for me, you guys. And so what's going to happen over the course of this 21 days, you're going to start to really think about how you spend your money. You're going to become aware, like Terry's husband. See, Terry's husband, what he would do was he would go to the grocery store and he'd overspend. Every time he went to the grocery store, he'd overspend. And they couldn't figure out, why would you just, in his mind, he's like, we need groceries, we need food, of course I'm going to go spend it at the grocery store. Well, what he discovered is that as a kid, his parents would always tell him, we can't get that, you can't get that. And so as an adult, he decided, I'm going to get whatever I want at the grocery store. So he'd overspend at the grocery store. This makes you more aware. Listen to this. I learned during this fast, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be revelatory for you. I learned I overspend at the grocery store. Oh my God, it was terrible. Or I used to. I don't anymore. I used to overspend at the grocery store. I used to have a refrigerator full of produce. We couldn't even eat it all, and it would go bad. Let me tell you why. See, as a child, I had no memories of not eating as a child, none. But see, as an adult, I told you, we've been in survival mode for a long time. And my fear was, I don't know what's going to happen next week. I don't know. And I need to make sure there is something in this house for my babies to eat. And so I'd overspend at the grocery store. It didn't occur to me that all this produce is going to waste because you can't even eat it fast enough. Like, you can't. And so I became a hoarder of food. Yeah. So when I see people at the beginning of the pandemic hoarding toilet paper, when I see people at the beginning of the pandemic hoarding so much chicken they can't even fit it in their freezer, I get it. It's something deeper. It's never about the pandemic. It's a fear that they have from someplace else that they don't even realize that they have. I recognize mine because I went through this fast. And so now, guess what I don't do? Overspend at the grocery store anymore. At all. At all. But this is about becoming aware. Larry said specifically, now that he's aware of what drives him to overspend at the market, he can rein in his spending and stay within their family's grocery budget. Big deal, right? You've probably heard that one definition of the word crazy is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Yet, that is how most people handle their money. Or should I say, mishandle their money. They never take time to examine why they are spending the way they do. The problem for too many people is that they don't even realize that their finances are jacked up and crazy. And you want to know the other part that I'll add to that? They don't realize that they can fix it. I didn't realize that I could fix it. I thought the problem was external. I thought it had nothing to do with me and it was all external. That's what I thought, right? Listen, she wants us to really understand that this is a God-inspired way for us to find financial freedom. This is not some gimmick. It's God-inspired. This right here, I love this part. You guys, I'm on page 28. If you're wondering how I'm progressing through it, and if you have your book in front of you, I'm on page 28. She says, and I'm going to read this full thing. The concept of the fast is similar to the one the prophet Daniel took, in which he ate no choice food, no meat or wine, and used no lotions at all until the 3 weeks were over. Okay, you can find that in Daniel chapter 10, verse 3. Daniel fasted as a way to draw closer to God. Similarly, the principle of this fast is to deny your flesh so that you can become closer to God. Instead, here it is, of relying on an emotional rush from shopping or pursuing the latest sale or discount, this fast will connect you to God. This is what's interesting. A lot of us don't realize that we get an emotional rush from shopping. You're going to find out over the next 21 days that you do. You don't realize it right now because it doesn't seem like a big deal. You guys, it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. There are things that happen in your brain that you do not even realize happens. There are chemicals that are released that make you feel a sense of satisfaction, and you don't even know this stuff is happening. You have no idea. But there is a rush that you get from fasting. If you're the person, real talk, you get excited when you get something on sale. Do you even need it? Like, if it says that you can have this is a good one. 5 heads of lettuce for $1. I don't know, 5 heads of lettuce for $2, but one head costs you $1. So you get one head of lettuce for $1, but you can get 5 for $2. What the hell are you going to do with the other 4 heads of lettuce? Are you even going to use them? But do you just get the rush from, oh, but I can get so many more if I just get all 5, I save money. No, you spent an extra $1. If you literally cannot eat 5 heads of lettuce before they go bad in a week, what you just did was wasted $1. And you don't even realize that there's a chemical reaction happening in your body that makes you feel so satisfied that you didn't save and you didn't save. You spent an extra $1. You went to the store for a head of lettuce and they got you. I'm just saying. I'm saying. She said, I never needed Danita. It's okay. Ooh. I do the clearance rack orgasmic. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Yes, tell the truth. Francis said that used to be me. That used to be me. I get it, y'all. So some of us, we really honestly don't realize that we have that we got this here. What does this say right here? Wait. It says, it used to be food for me when I began to lose weight because I didn't like how I looked. I switched to spending, which gave me a rush, makes me happy. See, I love the honesty. I'm telling you, you guys, it's being aware. Awareness is half of the battle. Awareness is half of it. Now that you're aware, now the question is, what do you do to adjust the behavior, to shift your subconscious mental programming? What do we do to shift that paradigm? That's what this helped with. That's what this helps with. This is so funny. This is so funny. I'm buying the 4 packs of strawberries for the 50-cent sales. Strawberries go bad in like 2 days. Oh my God, that's so funny. That is so funny. They go bad in literally like 2 days. By the time they get to the grocery store, they're more than right. By the time they get to your house, they're not making it past the next 2 days. And don't wash them first. Don't do that. It's game over. Okay, let me get back to this. You guys have me cracking up. All right. Fasting is an act of separating yourself from worldly pleasures. During this separation and away from the worldly temptation, you can begin to break the bonds that kept you broke or that keep you broke. So during this fast, what are we doing? During this fast, do not shop or use credit cards for 21 days. For 3 weeks, you must refrain from buying anything that is not necessary. And by necessity, I mean the bare essentials such as food and medicine. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. Y'all ready? Number 1, during this fast, you will refrain from going to the mall or retail stores. I get it. Malls aren't as exciting, but Target is, ladies. Stop going in Target. You go in there for detergent, you come out $200 later. Stop. No Target runs. No Walmart runs. Don't even do it. Those rollback prices are not helping you if you roll everything up because you buy way more than you need to. Stop. Okay. No going in stores to shop for clothes, no shoes, no jewelry, no non-essential household items. Who are the candle freaks in here? Who's like, I need to have a new candle? Who has to burn the incense? Who has to go into the fragrance aisle and get the new scent of Febreze? You know, the plug-ins, which are really good, by the way. Can you tell that's the issue for me? My husband is outrageous when it comes to candles. Like, it's ridiculous what he'll spend on candles. It's crazy. So who are you? Okay. No doing it. You can't do it. Any other stuff that creates a drag on your financial life and clutters up your house, use what you have in your house. You can't even go window shopping. Why? Because it leads to temptation. And what does temptation lead to? What does it lead to, y'all? It leads to buying stuff that you don't even need. 2, no restaurant meals. None. 0. Zilch. You're going to save so much if you just do not go to McDonald's, if you don't go to Chipotle, if you don't go to Potbelly's, if you don't go by Portillo's, if you don't go to Chick-fil-A, if you don't go to Wendy's, if you don't go to Culver's, if you don't go to Crystal's, if you don't go to White Castle's, if you don't go to Burger King. Should I go on? No, none of those. No fast food, no otherwise food that you didn't cook in your house. None, right? What else is fast food? In the grocery store, the hot food section. Don't even try it. I see you. I recognize you. We're not playing games. Let's go. Pete's Market, best market in the world. They got the biggest, like the largest. They're a grocery store slash deli slash everything. And they got such a good hot food section. Don't even try it. I see you. Stay out of there. Okay. No restaurants. This includes breakfast or lunch at work. No, Dunkin' Donuts is not a necessity. Pack your coffee at home. Oh, Francis. Francis says we're going to Vegas tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Listen, you guys, I got to figure out what next weekend looks like. I'll be in Atlanta. I got to figure out next weekend. I still cannot overspend. I got to eat while I'm there, true, but I can't overspend. I can't, right? Okay, so you can't stop for coffee. Don't you even dare tell me you got to get coffee from Dunkin' Donuts because you don't have time to make it in the morning. If you don't get your butt up 15 minutes earlier in the morning to make your coffee, or guess what? You don't get coffee. You get to go to work cranky when nobody wants to be around you because you did not plan properly. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, we holding nothing back, y'all. Holding nothing back. Make your coffee at home. You got a Keurig? Use it. I have a Keurig. I love that thing. Listen, I'm making a smoothie right now. There we go. There we go. Because I didn't prepare. Yes, we playing no games, Sharitha. None. There we go. You absolutely right. And I'm not doing any of those machines at all. I'll be trading them. You better say it. Let's go. Let me find out you out there doing something, Francis. Calling you out. You are not permitted to buy any gifts or gift cards. Listen, this actually came up the last time. This came up the last time. We had a young lady in the group who was like, wait, but I have a gift card. Can't I use it? No, you cannot use it during the fast. You cannot. It breaks the spirit of the fast. Okay. It breaks the spirit of the fast. So I need you to know that no, even if somebody gave you a gift card, it's your birthday. Let's just say your birthday is over the next 21 days. You better celebrate it without spending money. That's the challenge, you guys. Let me tell you. I want you to think about how addicted we are to spending. And we don't think about the fact that we can do so many other things to enjoy ourselves. It doesn't always have to do with spending. I told my husband, I was like, if you think you need money to be creative or you need money to be romantic, you're not creative enough. That is literally what I have told my husband before. If that's what you think, you're not creative. I need you to work on your creativity, not your bank account. Same thing for you guys. If you feel like you need money to have fun, you are not creative enough. I need you to work on your creativity instead of your bank account. Because see, you're putting all the weight on your bank account, and it's not your bank account's responsibility for you to have a good time. It's your responsibility to create an atmosphere of fun for yourself. And you don't need money to do that. Ask my kids. We have a good time all the time. Okay. Listen, there was a lady on here. This was so good. She said that one woman wrote me that her 5-year-old son was invited to 2 birthday parties during the fast, but she didn't allow him to go to either of those parties. And that wasn't necessary. Now, she says, while I love that this mother was trying to stick to the fast, her son could have gone to the parties only without a gift. The lady said this after she realized that. Okay. This testimonial came from someone called, her name is Trina. And Trina said, it just goes to show you how conditioned my mind was to spend money. I would have never thought about making a gift. I always purchase something instead. That's the point. It just goes to show how conditioned we are that money trumps everything. And we need it to do everything. All right. And so now this is a question of how creative can you be? When was the last time you used your imagination? That's another conversation. But when was the last time you used your imagination? And this is really good. It says the children's birthday parties have created a small but not insignificant dent in many household budgets. Besides, year after year of overindulgence at these parties can make it harder to teach your children about moderation later. Already, we have an epidemic of overspending among adults. Perhaps this is how it starts. Listen to this. When my son, who is now 14, was 3, I did this big party for him at the house. First child. You don't know. He had a good time. He don't remember that party. He was 3. But I had to clean up after all these people. I had to do all these things. This is what I want you to know. I look at people nowadays and they have birthday parties that look like proms. This is no judgment if this is your thing, but I want you to think about, why do you do it? Okay. So we have huge birthday parties for our children. Huge. They're Spider-Man themed, they're Iron Man themed, they're Barbie themed. Like now we got Barbie coming out to the party. We just spent $500 to get Barbie out to the party. You know, we've done all these things, and now you have literally overindulged on a massive scale. I've seen people spend like hundreds of dollars for children's birthdays and then turn around and tell me you don't have money. No, you do. What you don't have is a sense of what being a good steward of your money means. There's no way you can tell me you cannot pay a bill, but you can create this lavish birthday party for your child. Do you know what you just taught your child? That I can spend money on frivolous things, but I can't spend money or focus on my priorities. That's what you just taught your child. Do we create consumerism because at the age of 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, we go nuts on their birthday, spending hundreds and hundreds to thousands of dollars on these lavish experiences, teaching them that this is what life is supposed to be like? If you shower your 8 or 9-year-old with $1,000 experience, you want to tell me what you're supposed to do for them when they're 15 and 16? That's why you're spending thousands more for a 15-year-old, but you're mad at your teenager, calling your teenager ungrateful. No, you created that. And you have to take responsibility for that. And it started when they were 5. And you felt like you needed to spend hundreds of dollars on a birthday party for a child who, until you did it, didn't even realize that was a thing. Like your 5-year-old does not realize that, oh, I'm supposed to have this big, huge, massive birthday party. They don't know. You do it. You do it. And so once you do it when they're 5, guess what happens when they're 6? That's what they're looking for. Now, let me tell you, we make a big deal out of birthday parties here in our house, a big deal. But let me tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not about to spend thousands of dollars on somebody's birthday. No, that's not happening. You want that kind of money spent on your birthday? Then I'm going to need you to earn it. That's it. I need you to go out there and make sure your online store is popping, Jalen. That's what I need. And I need you to make sure that the cost of this birthday party is still less than 5% of the amount of money that you're bringing in from this online store. If you can't do that, then you need to earn some more, or perhaps you need to pare down what it is you want for your birthday. Like that's what we do in this house. We're not doing that. So we create these great experiences. For my son's birthday this last time, it was so funny. So we went to this VR video game. It was so much fun, you guys, so much fun. It was me, him, and his dad, because it was a horror game. It was a zombie game. So Giselle couldn't go. Jacob definitely couldn't go. And so I don't want to bring her into an environment where she was going to be scared and just squat down in the corner and not shoot anything. So it was me, him, and his dad. Guess what else we did? We grabbed something to eat while we were out. We did, but it was at this huge outdoor mall. Okay, so we go to the outdoor mall, we grab something to eat, and for 2 hours, we're just out enjoying each other's company. I paid for the game, we paid for the food. That's it. Then guess what else we did? Took him by his grandparents' house, my in-laws, because they always have a card or something for him so they could celebrate him. We went by my parents' house, we had cake, all that good stuff. And it was a whole day of experiences. We celebrate one another. What I'm not about to do is spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on you to make you think that that's what you're supposed to get. See, what happens now is we set the precedent. And now if we have them thinking at the age of 5 that we're going to have these lavish experiences, I don't know what you're going to do with your teenager. I'm just saying, you got a whole life to live with these little people. Okay, so perhaps, are we setting this up? Are we also part of the programming that they experience, where they're going to feel like they need to spend a lot of money in order to have a good time? Or are we teaching them creativity? Are we teaching them about spending time with one another? What are we teaching them? Francis says, for Amara's birthday party, we just had family over, got some Dollar Tree decorations, and my friend who bakes made her a cake as a gift. Yes, she was in love, literally. She literally cared about nothing but her little smash cake. Yes, exactly. Now that's a 1-year-old party. Let me tell you, my daughter, for everybody's birthday, she has this whole thing where she has to put up decorations for them. And she spends so much time and energy and effort, like weeks before planning it out. So she cuts up a bunch of confetti. Like she'll physically cut it all up, she'll have it packaged up, and then she'll ask us, can we buy a few balloons and can we buy some streamers? And so we still have streamers around the house. So she'll go and grab those streamers. She might ask us to pick up a few balloons or something like that. But let me tell you, my daughter goes all out when it comes to creativity for everybody's anything. Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, Christmas, it doesn't matter. She's going to make sure your special day is absolutely special. That's my 7-year-old. So my point is that if a 7-year-old can have that kind of imagination and she makes sure everybody has a special day, then we can do it as adults. The other thing that she'll do, she will spend so much time meticulously putting together and creating cards for everybody. This is what's amazing. Everybody's card is different. It is tailored and customized to the person she's giving it to. I'm telling you, y'all, this chick, most considerate person I've ever met in my life. That's why I'm so in love with her. And that goes to show you can really put some time, attention, and effort into creating for one another, and being creative. Let me move quickly past this last part. Man, and this is the part I wanted to spend some time on, but I can't, y'all, because we got to get out of here. I don't want to keep you forever. The purpose of the fast is to eliminate spending on absolutely everything that is not essential. Now, let's run through the perils of plastic really quick. This is where I wanted to spend some extra time, but listen, God just had to do what God does. The perils of plastic on page 30. So I'm going to run through and summarize page 30 through 33. Perils of plastic, debit card, all of that stuff. Listen, my girl Frances can back me up on this. Plastic. We feel like it's no big deal to use your credit card or your debit card. You really feel like it's no big deal to use that card because if you're a person who pays off your credit card balance every single month, you definitely feel like you have your finances under control. But let me tell you something. The bank knows you. Banks actually give out those cards. Okay? There are banks attached to those cards. They know you. What I want you to know is have you ever taken the time to study how the brain works? Probably not. I had neither. I had neither. Let me tell you why I'm saying that. These companies have spent millions of dollars studying you. You. The moment you hit 18, they have been courting you with credit card applications. They've been courting you. You know what I mean? They've been so sweet to you. I'm just saying. This is what I want you to understand. They have spent millions of dollars to understand psychology and how our brains work and behavior. They have resources available to them that we don't have. And those resources allow them to understand in intricate detail how to get you excited about things, how to market it to you in such a way that it's so subtle, but that you pick it up. And not only do you think that you're winning because you pay your balance off every month, but they know that if you have a card, that your brain works different. So what happens is when you buy a television, let's use a TV, okay, for example, right? Let's say you go into the store and you buy a TV. Actually, I just recently got a computer, so we'll use a computer. And I literally said to myself, okay, I only want to spend so much. I'm not going to go nuts. Okay. Now, for the average person, think about this. The average person, you go into the store, you see the computer, and let's just say the computer's $1,200, but they have another one that has a slightly, different benefit. Maybe the screen is just a little bit bigger, right? And it's only $200 or $300 more. So now we're looking at a $1,500 computer. Now I want you to think about this. When you have a card, you might think, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. It's only a couple $100 because you don't feel it. The weight of counting out 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550, 500. I mean, 600, 650, 700. Like the weight of counting all that out, you physically feel it when it's cash. A card, the weight of that card never changes. Cash does. While you're counting this money out, you start feeling like, okay, wait. I could take care of this. I could get rid of that debt. You start to pay attention. Cash makes you pay attention. You feel the weight of it leaving your wallet, leaving your purse, leaving your pocketbook, leaving your hand. That card feels the exact same every single time. So while you may be the person that says, I pay off my balance every single month, they still know that because you are using a card, you will spend more. So guess what? You don't win. The bank wins every single time. You know why? Because they have spent millions studying how the brain works. And even though you feel like you are completely different than everybody else in the world, they know that you're not. They know. And they know that when we use a card, we have an emotional detachment from plastic and we are emotionally attached to cash. Okay. So that's the case with your credit card. Your debit card, same thing. I know you're thinking, but Demita, listen, I can only spend what I have on my card. Not facts. False information. Absolutely false. Let me tell you why it's so false. Because see, they will allow your charge to go through. If the charge is $152 and you have $150 in your account, a lot of banks will allow that to go through. And guess what happens? You get hit with a $35 overdraft fee. Right. So they'll allow it to go through, even though they are very cognizant you don't have enough money in the bank. And in addition to that, guess what happens now? Now that $152 item, it just went up to $187. Right. 187. Okay. And so what I want is for you to understand, like Francis just put, these banks are programmed, they're programming you with these rewards. Oh, those airline points that you get, are you kidding me? You're overspending so you can get points on an airline. It's just like the strawberries that Francis bought at the grocery store. It's just like the heads of lettuce. You buying 5 of them because it's $2 instead of just getting one. So now the bank has encouraged you to get an extra one. But if you only have $1 in your purse, all you can get is the one head of lettuce you went to the store for. You feel me? But if you got a card that has $5 on it, now you got a little extra cushion. So you're going to spend more than you were intending to spend because you have it. Okay? Not only that, if you're buying a bigger item, you can feel the weight of that cash leaving your hand. You guys, this is big. I'm trying to tell you, this is a really big deal. Banks understand. Listen to this. I used to be the overdraft queen. I can testify. Thank you for your honesty. Me too. Me too. And when I tell you, they know that you're going to do it. Do you know how banks make money? The bank is not your friend. Okay? The bank is not your friend. I want you to understand this. Banking is a business. Banking has a retail side to their business. You want to know how they make money? They make a lot of money off of your overdraft fees. Off of your overdraft fees. Okay? When I will never forget, I was so frustrated one day because of the way banks calculate. And it all depends. There are some banks that have more predatory practices than others. But my fault for getting in a position where I needed to use this awful bank. Okay? Yes, right. They get you with these points. Spend this, get this many points. Absolutely. It's a huge business. Billions. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? So I take 100% responsibility for allowing myself to get into a position where I had to use one of these bogus banks. Now I have the bank, I have an account. Things are going well, no issues whatsoever. Things are going good. Because I realized that as long as you don't make mistakes, banks cannot make money off of you. What ended up happening in this situation, you guys? So I go to the bank, I process something that they process. Now I know that there's enough money in this account for all of this. I know for a fact there's enough money in the account for all of these things to work, for every transaction to come out, every single one. So let's just say the transactions were $100 worth of transactions. I'm trying to remember exactly how this thing went. This was so many years ago. Let's say it's $100 worth of transactions. Let's say that I had 2 transactions, right? And those 2 transactions, let's say that one of them was $60 and one was $30. So it's $90 in the account. Somehow or another, I overdraft my account. And I'm like, how is that possible when it's $100 in here and I only have $90 of expenses that are coming out. They did something like, and I may be explaining this wrong. So let's say the first transaction was $60. They deducted twice. Now that 60 has put me in, it's as if $120, the way it was on their books, it's as if that $120 had come out of the account. So now I'm already in arrears. In addition to that, when the next one came out, the $30, it put me in arrears a second time. So not only did my $60 transaction before everything balanced, did the $60 transaction put me in arrears, because now the 60, it looks like it's deducted twice. So now I'm $20 negative. I'm charged for that. Now when the $30 comes out, not only is the $30 that's insufficient, but they let the 30 go through. And now in addition to that, so now I'm additional 30 and then another fee. It was the most ridiculous. And I went to the bank like, I don't even understand what you're saying to me. Like, this makes no sense whatsoever. How the hell did this happen? Like, what are you talking about? I spent $90. So how is this? And I have 100 in this account. I don't even understand. By the time they finished explaining this thing to me, I was so confused. And I explained it. I said, so what you're telling me is that the way that you guys calculated this $60. Yes. Thank you, Francis. So what you're telling me is this $60, it came out twice. You're saying it was this, it came out twice, which makes my account look like there's only a negative $20 in there. So when my $30 transaction went in, now it's negative $70. And then I'm hit with a negative, like a $35 fee, even though it was the most insane thing I had ever seen in my life. That was the last time I banked with that bank. Last time. Okay. Why am I telling you this? Banking is a business. You may think you're smarter. And honestly, you are. But they have it set up to where they're going to make money. They're going to make money. No question. It's going to happen. And so what I want you to understand is your card, even though you have the best credit, even though you are so good at this, even though you pay that balance off every day, even though it's just a debit card, I want you to understand people overdraft on debit cards every day, multiple times a day. Banks know it. Just don't use it for the fast. We're trying to get you to understand worldly finances versus biblical finances. I'm telling you, you're going to gain wisdom through this process. Wisdom. You should limit the use of your debit card. If you must use it, limit your purchases to groceries and or gas. Let me explain. I am using my debit card every single month for groceries. You know why? Because if I go in the store, I overspend. I'll go in the store and be like, oh, I forgot to add that to the list. Let me grab that. Oh, that would be so good to have. Let me grab that. You know how I don't overspend on groceries? You guys, I have my groceries delivered. I paid for the full year, meaning I paid the fee, so I don't have to pay additional delivery fees every single time they come. I get my groceries delivered, and guess what happens? I only get what we need when I get them delivered. That is one of the ways that I will continue to use my debit card. I want you to know this right here. About 90% of banks, oh my God, their consumer fee income comes from overdraft and insufficient funds. Y'all, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Now, what can you do and what can't you do? You can, for the fast, essential items such as food and medications, essential personal hygiene products, essential clothing items, things that are required for your job. Listen, but if you have enough of the clothes you need for your job, now is not the time to buy more just because you think, oh, I'd like some more. No, if they're worn out, like we can see through them, we can see your whole bottom, yes, you need some more. But if we can't, or if everything's perfect, you don't need them. Essential items for your family, school supplies, essential items for your home, okay? Now, this isn't a definitive list or an exhaustive list, but it is a list, okay? To give you some direction. What you cannot do, don't go to the mall, don't window shop, don't shop online, internet shopping counts, don't browse through retail catalogs, don't buy meals outside of your home, don't go to the movies, see a play, you cannot let somebody take you to dinner. For example, let's say you're dating, and your boyfriend or your girlfriend volunteers to pick up dining and entertainment during the 21-day fast, you better say no, thank you. It breaks the spirit of the fast. Don't use plastic. Don't allow yourself to buy things you know you shouldn't buy. Listen, let the Holy Spirit guide you through this entire thing, okay? And you're going to be fine. Some fasting tips: get a journal so you can write some things down. She wants us to journal daily. Review your progress. Get a highlighter so you can highlight the parts of the book that really speak to you. Get an accountability partner. You guys, if you have invited someone into the group and they become a part and decide they want to do this, have an accountability partner. Okay. Start each day with P-A-Y. Pray, act on the pledge, okay, and yield to God's will. Pray before we read each chapter. And that is exactly what we did today. So now let's look at our daily assignment, and we're going to wrap it up. Make a list of any potential obstacles that may prevent you from sticking, to the fast, and then decide how to eliminate them. For example, instead of putting your credit cards in a drawer or a file cabinet, freeze them. Yes, that's what I said. Put the cards in the freezer. That's what one person did so that she would not be tempted to use her cards. If you are a shopaholic, you may need to change your driving pattern so that you don't go near your favorite shopping places. And take this pledge and sign your name below. I promise to follow the 21-day financial fast so that I may put myself on that path to prosperity and financial freedom. One of the things that I thought was going to be a big challenge for us in December was the fact that Christmas was coming. And I knew that that was going to be a challenge, but it turned out to be one of the best Christmases we've ever had. Finally, our pledge for this chapter says this. Hold on, I think I actually created, it all wouldn't fit, but some of it is here. For the next 21 days, I will be on a spending diet. I will not shop for anything except necessities. I will not use my credit card. I will limit or eliminate the use of my debit card. I will use cash for purchases I will make during this fast. In this way, I will strive to break the chains that keep me from achieving financial freedom. You guys, that was a long day. Thank you so much for being patient. We've been on here now a little bit over an hour. I am really going to strive to make these shorter so we won't be on here so incredibly long. But that is day one. You did it. Day one. You did it. And so now make sure you do the homework, the assignment. It is to read that last section in the book. It is to write down what you think may be some obstacles for you and some ways that you can get around those obstacles. Okay. I appreciate you guys so much. You made it through day one, and now it's on to day two. Have an amazing rest of your day. You guys did it. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.